Well, good. Giannis and the Bucks take on the Pacers in round one of the playoffs later this week. If the Bucks lose to the Pacers, it'll be their third consecutive first-round exit from the postseason. Yesterday, Marcus was fired up about the what-ifs of another Milwaukee opening road loss. Take a listen.
If I'm Giannis and we don't get past this first round, I think I'm going to sunny Miami. Listen, it's wide open over there. You can start something new. It's a really big market.
Shanae, would Miami be an easier place to win than Milwaukee?
I wouldn't say right now with the way that Miami is currently constructed, it's difficult because if you think Giannis coming to Miami, he's going to play alongside Bam Adebayo, and if you think about the paint, he needs an open paint to perform. But bigger question, the last few years when the Milwaukee Bucks have fallen short, a lot of people have wondered, oh my gosh, is Giannis going to leave? And I think he's more loyal than people. I think they underestimate the fact that he wants to stay and be great in Milwaukee. But it does come to the forefront of my mind how history can repeat itself. I always think about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He won his first championship in Milwaukee, and then what happened after? He left, went to Los Angeles, and the rest was history. I know Bucks fans probably feel the same way. We need to protect Giannis at all costs. I don't think he leaves for Miami. He could leave down the line. Most importantly, because when you have a star of Giannis's magnitude, someone that this year averaged 30 points, 10 to 12 rebounds on 60% shooting like he's done the last few years, you try to keep him there. What have they done? I think they've had 5 head coaches in the last 8 for him. They've also took a big swing, and they have missed in some ways when it came to their offensive production through the roof, but defense has struggled after Dame Lillard. They are trying. They're showing that they want to keep Giannis Antetokounmpo, but I do remember Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and I'm like, is history going to repeat itself?
I'm staying in Milwaukee if I'm Giannis. Clearly, I'm not talking about quality of life, okay? South Beach, Milwaukee, there's nothing to debate there. But the point is, it ain't nothing to debate, my brother. It is a night and day. But the point is that from a strictly basketball perspective, I'm not leaving Dame to go to Miami. That's number one. Number two, what you gonna have to give up in order to get Giannis, okay? Because you can't keep Bam and Tyler Hero. I mean, somebody got to go. So who you gonna be playing with? That's number two. Number three, very uncomfortable portion of this conversation that I have to get into, but it is unavoidable. We've talked about Pat Riley. He's over 80 now. And, Pat Riley, the winner within, one of the great minds and accomplishers this game has ever seen. I revered this man. But in the same breath, it hasn't been great. Jimmy Butler walking out the door. May not be all Pat Riley's fault, but some of it was. LeBron James walking out the door. Some of it was Pat Riley's fault. D. Wade departed, even though they resurrected their relationship or whatever. That wasn't the greatest thing in the world, and in the meantime that, those things have happened, you bring the Andre Iguodala's and the Kevin Loves there, when others weren't taken care of. You got to think about all of those things right now. And I only bring that up to say, at some point in time, there has to be a discussion about change in Miami. And Pat Riley has earned the right to dictate to some degree when that happens. And Mickey Harrison, the owner, and his son Nick, they're going to make that decision. But when you think about a guy like Erik Spoelstra, who's going to be the Team USA coach in 2028, unless he does not want to, he is going to be the choice because he is a Hall of Fame coach, an absolutely brilliant coach. You understand? And we know that it's a first-class organization, but you might need some new blood because when you're thinking about Giannis, that's a long-term decision. And when you're looking at Pat Riley, who's over 80, no, you're not thinking long-term. So who's that next person going to be? What's their vision? You gonna elevate Spoelstra? You gonna make Spoelstra South Beach version of Brad Stevens? Because Brad Stevens, he was a damn good coach. But my God, what an executive he has proven to be.
I love that idea,
Boston.
Stephen A.
Yeah, so Erik Spoelstra might need to be that guy in Miami. I'm saying before you can talk about Giannis or the caliber of a Giannis, going to some place like South Beach, Miami has to get everything in order.
And I agree with Stephen A. I still believe that when you are talking about a guy like Giannis that possibly can go there, right? you have to think about changing the front office, right? That analogy with Spo and Brad Stevens, I was with Brad Stevens in Boston, and he was a great coach, but he's better upstairs, right? Because he still has his hands in everything. But a guy like Giannis will get you to change the culture. And I don't think you have to really change it a lot because Giannis is one of those guys that probably fit the Heat culture really well, right? He's a no-nonsense guy. He's coming to play every night.
Yeah.
He doesn't have no off-the-court issues. So I think the fit is perfect, and by him going there, I think he will recruit other talent to get there.
That's actually, you're convincing me a little bit.
It's one thing not to have off-the-court issues in Milwaukee. Ain't nobody gonna have that, but in Miami, not Giannis. I'm not talking about. I'm just talking about generality. I'm just talking about generality.
Let's not speak it into existence.
Right. I know they know exactly how much is at stake. I think both of those guys will be ready. Two tough guys that's ready to take on that.
You think they will play and they will play well?
Yes, sir.
All right, fair enough. Let's go to the next one. Marcus, this one is for you. If I said no team is going to challenge the Thunder in the West, is that fact or fiction?
I got to be fiction. I think it's multiple teams, right? I think the Clippers, I think Denver, I think the Warriors, I think they all can challenge the OKC. They've been a really good regular season team, but this is the playoffs. All that goes out the window.
And don't forget about the Los Angeles Lakers. I know you gave love to the Clippers, but the Lakers have two of the greatest playoff performers in basketball in history, in LeBron James and Luka Doncic. Can you imagine if the game or the series comes down to one or two possessions? The IQ that LeBron has, the just moxie that Luka has, those two are phenomenal. So I think that would be a good matchup as well. Lakers, what do you say, Clippers?
Nuggets. I was cheating by even asking the question. I know Marcus doesn't think OKC is coming. Janae, I feel like for a while now we've been talking about the West like it was the West, the OKC Invitational. We'll get back to that as we go, but let's go to the last one. Janae, if I said the Knicks are going to lose to Detroit in round one, is that fact or fiction?
That's fiction. I'm just going to do that as a wellness check for you, Greeny. That's fiction. A lot of people are very high on the Pistons, which I am, and I do think that the Knicks are concerned because Cade Cunningham has had his way against them. 31 points, 8 assists, but more so, the Knicks have two superstars in Brunson and Towns, and I believe Towns is the separator, shooting 42% from three.
All right, Marcus, I just need you to know that, like, everyone who works in this room, all the people you see behind the cameras and everybody else are crazy Knicks fans.
I know it.
So they desperately want to hear this from you. Are the Knicks going to get out of this first round and at least get their crack at Boston?
I love New York, right? Let's just get that out the way. I think this will be a dogfight, but I think it's going to come down to home court advantage. Playing in New York, in the Garden, in the playoffs, as we spoke about, is tough. This is a young team. Detroit, I love what they've done during the regular season, but I don't know if they have enough to win this series.
Are the Knicks a team that can elevate? Like I don't know if there's a step. They had a very good season. They had because the Celtics and the Cavaliers have been so good, people have overlooked how good a year the Knicks had. But are they a team that has another gear they go to in the postseason like some of the others do?
Well, that's been the biggest question because they need to be rested to be able to have another gear. And I feel like we've started to see those criticisms come to fruition in the sense that